I am finally going on a cruise! If you've been watching my video for any length of time, then you'll know that I wanted to go on a cruise last year and it just didn't happen. But I am so excited to be telling you guys that I have now got a cruise booked for later this year, and it's 8 nights around the Mediterranean. I have got so much to tell you about this and I'm so excited about it, but I'm going to try and keep it as kind of little of a brain dump as possible and try to be have some kind of structure to this video. So I'm going on this cruise with my sister and my mum, which I am so excited about. We haven't been on holiday, the three of us, I think since 2012, so it's been 12 years. And if you watch the Florida vlogs, then you will know Natalie because she and I went there together, and it will be so nice to spend a little bit of extended time with them. So we have booked to go with Royal Caribbean, and the name of the ship I believe is Explorer of the Seas, which was refurbished in 2021. I was in two minds about whether I really wanted to know anything about the ship beforehand, but my sister sent us a video of somebody kind of touring the ship, and I gave in the end and watched it, and oh my gosh, it looks amazing. I think that's probably helped by the refurb in 2021, but some of the things that I was just like, what about were, number one, it's got a library. Number two, it's got mini golf, which my sister and I absolutely love, but I'm sure that my mum will be happy to come along for that. And number three, it's got an ice rink. Like, what? I feel like I've watched quite a few cruise videos and I have never heard of an ice rink on a ship. But I love ice skating, and actually when I was a teenager I really wanted to take ice skating lessons, like figure skating, just because I love it so much, and it didn't work out. But I feel like this is going to be the first time that I've gone ice skating in probably 15 years, if not longer. I am excited. Because there's three of us, we're going to be staying in an ultra spacious room, all of which are ocean view, I believe, so we'll be at the front of the ship. The idea was that because there's three of us in the room and we're all going to be doing makeup in the morning and straightening our hair, unless I go curly like today, I feel like we're just going to be falling over each other otherwise. If we were in like a standard size cabin with three of us, like three adults, I feel like that's a lot. While we're on the ship, we're actually only going to be visiting 3 countries, but I say that because we're going to mainland Greece, we start in Athens, and then we're going to 2 of the Greek islands. So I think it's 6 stops across the 8 nights, because we've got 2 sea days, which are kind of towards the end. I feel like I'm obviously really excited to visit all the different countries, because I don't think I've been to any of the cities that we're going to. The only country that I've been to before is Cyprus, but we're going to Limassol, whereas I've been to Paphos. And while I'm really excited about visiting everywhere, I also kind of feel like I wish we had more time on the ship. So we've got the 2 sea days, and obviously if there's anywhere that we're not particularly bothered about, we can always come back to the ship early. But because there's so much amazing stuff on the ship, I'm just worried that we're not going to have enough time to enjoy it all. But I guess we'll just cross that bridge when we come to it. And like I said, if there's somewhere that we're not that bothered about, then we can always pop out, you know, have a coffee, have some lunch or something, and then just go back to the ship. I mentioned that we're starting in Athens, and we actually decided that we're going to fly out the day before we board the ship. The reason for that being that when you kind of work backwards on the timing, it's just going to be a really long day and a real rush. So I think I worked out that I'd end up having to get up at like 3 in the morning to board the ship like 2 hours before it leaves, which is kind of like the closest you can get. And part of that is because it's a 4-hour flight to Athens, and part of it is because Greece is 2 hours in front, and so obviously you immediately lose those 2 hours just because of the time difference. And we're doing the same at the end, so we finish in Rome. Because we don't know when we're going to be able to disembark the ship, and again because of having to travel to the airport, get there in plenty of time, we've decided that we're going to stay overnight in Rome that night. So we'll travel into the city, we've booked an Airbnb, and then we will spend that day kind of looking around, having a nice time, and then fly back the following day. And conveniently, we come into port, into Rome on the Saturday, so when we fly back it will be the Sunday, so no additional annual leave from work. If anyone's interested, one thing that we found is that the Airbnbs in Athens are much cheaper than in Rome. I feel like I've heard that Rome's expensive before, but it is just a little bit of a shock, I suppose, when you're comparing, we're paying like £90 for the 3 of us in Athens, and in Rome it's like 220, so it is a significant difference. But hopefully it will be worth it not to have the stress of either missing that first or last port, and obviously having to try and rush to or from the airport. In terms of flights, we're flying from London Heathrow, which we much prefer, to Gatwick, and we are flying with BA both there and back. Again, the flights to Athens are much cheaper than the flights back from Rome, and I don't know why that is, but I mean, I know that it's all demand-based and that sort of thing, but yeah, much more expensive coming back. And that is just something that I wanted to mention, is that it has been hard trying to work out all the timings and logistics and everything of just getting there and back. Obviously, it'd be much easier if the ship was leaving from Southampton, but the difficulty is then that you have to go to that area of the world. You'd obviously have to sail all the way around, like France, Spain, Portugal, and everything. And we just weren't looking to spend that long ultimately. None of us have done a cruise before, so we don't know if we're going to enjoy it or not as part of it. We all historically suffer from a little bit of seasickness as well, so that is something that I think my mum in particular is quite nervous about. I've only had it once, which was when we went to Phi Phi Islands in Thailand, and we spent a lot of time on boats when we were in Mexico last year, and I was absolutely fine, but I don't know whether that was because I took seasickness tablets, but we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna take seasickness tablets with me, and just fingers crossed we're all gonna be okay. So that is the first bit of travel that we've got to look forward to this year. I am quickly running out of annual leave already. If my partner and I are looking at going away for 2 weeks, we're also looking at moving house this year, so obviously I've got to save up some time for that. So whether we're going to have anything beforehand, I don't know. Maybe a weekend away or something. But otherwise, I have a feeling that the next big trip is going to be a 2-weeker, kind of early 2025. So we'll see what happens. There's no other plans at the moment, but it's so exciting to have something to look forward to, and especially because it's a cruise, and I've just been waiting so long to do a cruise, and so to get to do it with my mum and my sister is just so exciting. I will of course be filming. At the moment I'm thinking of just doing it like vlogs, so like I did with the Florida series, just doing a vlog a day sort of thing. So if you want to see that when it comes out, then make sure that you hit the subscribe button. And if you're excited about the cruise, please do hit the like button as well. I mentioned about a couple of my previous trips, so I've been to Thailand, I've been to Mexico, I've been to Gran Canaria, I've been to Florida, and I've got videos of all of those on this channel, so I will leave one of them here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!